Hi, my name is Jubal Heen, and I am a pre-sales solutions architect for Axway Managed File Transfer. Today, we're going to learn how SecureTransport's API posture conforms with common enterprise API usage patterns. We will see how accessing SecureTransport APIs conform to standards that are familiar to integration developers. Then we will analyze some common use cases for SecureTransport APIs. And finally, we will explore ways to secure your APIs. SecureTransport, Axway's leading MFT solution, is engineered for API-first integration and is delivered with full REST API capabilities out of the box so that you can manage and monitor your MFT ecosystem with the same operational efficiency as you would your primary line of business systems. SecureTransport offers two REST APIs, the SecureTransport Administrator API and the End User API. The Administrator API provides organizations with the capability to manage their MFT environment with endpoints to configuration services for accounts, transfer sites, subscriptions, routes, and other components that comprise MFT data flows. With the End User API, you can initiate and monitor file transfers while managing user mailboxes and shared folders. To access SecureTransport APIs, an integration developer can view the Swagger-based API documentation. Swagger adheres to the Open API specification and is shipped with SecureTransport, so it can be accessed from within the administration interface. Here, developers can view and test all the available API endpoints and methods necessary to automate MFT management. The Swagger editor provides an interactive environment for developers to design and test API endpoints directly from the browser. This reduces the need for other external tools, which leads to faster development cycles and cost efficiency. Leveraging the power of APIs amplifies the value of Axway MFT. Let's explore how this is done through the experiences of enterprise stakeholders. This is Julie. She is a supply chain manager at Pivot Point Logistics, and she would like to onboard a new trading partner so she can receive EDI files into the MFT gateway. Her company's standard process for onboarding new partners is to create a service request in ServiceNow, which is their IT service management system. Upon receiving the request, the MFT administrators will manually set up the partner's account and credentials. With the SecureTransport Administrative API, this process can be streamlined to provide self-service for Julie and her team. By creating a request and entering the partner details into the ITSM, workflows can be designed to make API calls directly to SecureTransport, eliminating all the repetitive data entry into multiple systems. This saves Nathan, the MFT admin, lots of time and ensures better data accuracy. Julie uses ServiceNow every day, and it's easy for Julie to work within an application she's already familiar with. Plus, she's able to ensure a faster time to service for her new trading partners. Meet Eduardo. His company is the new partner that Julie just onboarded. Eduardo oversees integration efforts, and since his company has many move-to-cloud initiatives, he would like to send EDI files to Julie using a REST API. SecureTransport also enables Eduardo to manage all the file operations, folders, and transfers in their gateway account without the assistance of Pivot Point's MFT admins. And since he's able to self-manage his company's account-related operations, such as the need for frequent password resets, he's able to satisfy his company's security policies even if they don't match his partners. Eduardo likes doing business with Julie because he's able to trigger file transfers on schedules that ensure he meets his internal service level agreements. That helps him keep his internal business lines running smoothly while also maintaining security compliance. Danny is an ERP analyst at Pivot Point Logistics. He manages the generation and ingestion of EDI data files in and out of Pivot Point's line of business ERP system. The server he is responsible for is set up as a transfer site endpoint in SecureTransport and exchanges files with the MFT gateway. But Danny has some concerns about transfer frequencies. He doesn't want SecureTransport to pull his server too often due to the heavy load induced by hundreds of concurrent users of the application. He knows most of the EDI files are generated later in the day, but it isn't always consistent, so reliance on a set schedule doesn't provide him assurances the files will be picked up in time to comply with their order processing SLA. He also does not have a mechanism for sending files to the gateway, so he depends on SecureTransport to initiate the pull action on all outbound EDI files. Thanks to SecureTransport's REST API, Danny can make API calls to initiate file pull triggers in SecureTransport at any time he wants. Now his EDI processing workflows include a step to call the API to alert SecureTransport that new files are waiting in the outbound directory for pickup. This action is initiated immediately after the files are generated by the ERP and ensures Danny maintains SLA compliance. And Julie is delighted that her trading partners are now receiving EDI files in a timely manner. Before anyone could realize the benefits of the SecureTransport API, they had to satisfy this guy. Meet Eric. He is the Information Security Manager at Pivot Point Logistics, and his primary role at the company is telling everyone no. That is until he can properly assess how to secure APIs from unauthorized use and exploitation. After a rigorous security assessment, Eric learned how to minimize risk of API use by following some best practices. First, he implemented policies for password complexity and expiration. Then he implemented IP allow and disallow rules in cases where all admin API calls originate from official company-owned IP addresses only. For user API requests, he implemented the same policy where only the partner's IP ranges are admitted. For some accounts, he also mandated login restriction policies that accounted for time of day or day of week. Eric learned by disallowing weekend logins by some user accounts, it reduced the time window for access to the gateway, thus lessening his company's exposure risk. For partners where IP restrictions were too complex to implement, he required key-based or token-based authentication. Eric also provisioned dedicated administrator accounts for API access and defined custom roles using role-based access control on the principle of least privilege. So for the account that is used by ServiceNow for onboarding partner accounts, only specific roles were granted to minimally fulfill MFT service requests. Eric is thrilled that SecureTransport can handle all these requirements with out-of-the-box configurations. Eric has also budgeted a new project for implementing an API gateway at the company so they can future-proof and control access to all their company's API endpoints with even more granularity. Let's recap what we learned about SecureTransport APIs today. SecureTransport APIs are highly accessible because it is engineered for API-first integration and includes an interactive Swagger documentation suite for fast development of MFT automation. The APIs are highly usable. Any task that can be completed in the admin user interface can also be automated using the API. Additionally, the end-user API provides integration flexibility for your partners and customers, so they too can benefit from MFT automation. From a security standpoint, the API adheres to and even leverages all the existing security features of a platform worthy of the name SecureTransport. So, Julie, Nathan, Eduardo, Danny, and yes, even Eric can all agree that the benefits of API automation transcends departments and extends to all stakeholders of a company's MFT ecosystem. If you would like to learn more about SecureTransport, visit axway.com.